Almost
make
night.
some pancakes,
I'm really
please?
hungry. Give me your hand.
Make me some food.
Daddy, can you make?
Hello and welcome to this episode of Daddy Can You Make? Today we'll be making gluten-free graham crackers. Our family loves graham crackers, and since my daughter has celiac disease, I developed a gluten-free option. Here are all the ingredients you will need for this recipe. Begin by putting our dry ingredients into a food processor. We have 1.5 cups of gluten-free flour with a 1/4 teaspoon salt, 3/4 cup almond flour, 1 teaspoon baking powder, 1/4 teaspoon xantham gum, 1 teaspoon ground cinnamon, and 1/3 cup brown sugar. Now set up our food processor to begin mixing our dry ingredients with about 6 tablespoons of butter. I use Earth Balance vegan butter as it is almost indistinguishable from normal butter and it's really good. Now slice up our cold butter so when we turn on our food processor, we can begin dropping in those delicious pieces of fat until just combined with our dry mix. When combined, stop our food processor and remove the top. And into the mix we will add 3 tablespoons of honey and make sure to squeegee out all of it so we don't waste anything. Add 3 tablespoons molasses, 2 teaspoons of vanilla, and 3 tablespoons cold milk. Almond milk or oat milk work great. Mix into the food processor again until just combined. At this stage, we now have a delicious bronze dough that is so delicious you will not want to share it. Note that it will be slightly sticky still, so we'll lightly flour some plastic wrap and scoop out our dough. And make sure to scrape out every last bit of dough lest you anger the baking gods. It's around this point I realize I'm not wearing an apron. Whoops. Oh well. Once we have scraped out every last bit, we will take our doughy treasure and form it into a round disc. Now, I tend to get a little too perfectionist with this sometimes, but it really doesn't matter as we are going to roll it out flat anyways. Now, wrap up the disc so it can rest and chill in the fridge for at least 30 minutes. Here we have our beautifully chilled gluten-free graham cracker dough ready to roll out. Unwrap this deliciousness like it's Christmas morning and sprinkle a little flour to prevent sticking, if needed. I leave it on the plastic wrap so it does not stick too much to my working surface, but you could also flour the counter space instead. We are going to roll it out into a square shape and to about a 1/4 inch thickness. Try to work fast so it does not unthaw too much. Children often like to help with this part. You can give them their own small piece of dough and a roller, and they can roll out their own little cracker. Or sometimes they eat most of the dough and wonder why their cracker isn't very big. Once we have our dough rolled out to size, take a square-shaped cutter and begin to cut out your crackers. Now, unlike glutinous doughs, gluten-free can often be very delicate and can fall apart easily. Be patient. Have a spatula handy to gently transfer your squares to a prepared baking sheet with parchment paper. Try to space each square at least a 1/2 inch apart, if you can. It's not too big of a deal. Sometimes with gluten-free dough, we are just happy to get everything on the tray in one piece. Ball up your scrap dough and re-roll out again to cut more cracker shapes. Rinse and repeat until you have used up all your dough or devoured the leftovers before your kids do. Whichever comes first. Check this out. At this point in the video, the rolling pin magically moves on its own. It blew my mind, so I had to rewatch several times before realizing it was in fact magic, and not my fingers secretly and accidentally hitting the roller. I am coming for you, Harry Potter, with my baking magic. Anyways, moving on. Let's finish cutting out the rest of our crackers. On our prepared baking sheet, I use a chopstick end to poke 4 equally spaced indentations into the cracker dough, because it looks cool and gives it the classic graham cracker look. When ready, we will put our prepared baking sheets into the fridge again for at least 20 to 30 minutes to chill. I put them in the freezer for about 15 minutes while I preheat the oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. Note that in this video I prepared 2 batches of dough. One I added some extra honey which lightened the tone, and this batch was darker as you can see. Put them in the oven for 18 minutes and watch those babies bake. After each child has questioned repeatedly about when the graham crackers will be done, the 18 minutes tends to go by fairly quickly. This creates a cracker that is just crispy enough but still somewhat soft on the inside for an amazing texture and taste that will have you coming back for more and more. I love them when they are still warm, straight out of the oven, but you'll want to put them on a cooling rack to cool and then enjoy. And there we have it. Homemade, gluten-free and dairy-free graham crackers that truly are delicious. Delicioso. Can you say delicioso? Thanks for watching. Comment or question about this recipe in the comment section below, and be sure to give us a like and subscribe for more delicious gluten-free recipes. Until next time.